The sixth item on the agenda is to re-elect directors. In accordance with the Article 96 and 97 of the company's Article of Association and the Capital Market, sorry, okay, I jumped one, sorry. Item 5, okay. Item 5 on the agenda is to approve the director's remuneration for the year ended 31st December 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, the director's fees for 2011 is on page 67 of the annual report. May I have a proposer? Sunil Shah? Sunil Shah, a proposer and seconder?
Charles Maganga.
Charles Maganga. Charles Maganga.
Mr. Chairman, I thought you skipped it because you were going to do charity work.
Charity work?
I was very happy. I thought you were going to do charity work, so you didn't want us to approve it because you were going to give it to the company.
No, no.
So I was very happy, actually. I don't know who reminded you, but I'm very disappointed. Pat, I was watching.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just a question,
Please.
not just on that is, about 2 or 3 years ago, I read in your report that, and I was very, one thing I'll say about KK versus a lot of other companies, the board and the directors seem to be pro-shareholder, and I'm very happy about that. About 2 or 3 years ago, I remember there was something to the effect that you were looking at paying the directors in shares so that they have a direct interest in the company. You know, they're growing their interest just like our shareholders. I know for some, probably for some technical reason it hasn't happened, but I think that was positive. I think it was wonderful that the directors of the company wanted shares in KenolKobil, as some of the directors of some companies I can name who do not even own a single share in their companies. And this is positive that you are willing to do that. So I'd like to see that reinstated, if it is possible on a technical basis.
Okay, Rajesh, I think it's a fair point. What I do recall, yes, and we have discussed it several times at the board level. We, in a way, left the two options open to the directors to choose. Okay, I do agree that there is that incentive if directors' fees is paid through shares or options or whatever you know. Yes, but we left it open to the non-executive directors to decide, and I think one of them did prefer the shares. I don't want to go into these details. I don't have them in front of me, but yes, the option is there. Whether we should, maybe insist on it in future, I think it's a good point. We should consider to rediscuss it. But
No, certainly it is, and I'll tell you, the non-executive directors are also very pro holding the shares, and there was a long discussion about the mechanism of how we should do that. If you recall, there was a long debate with the shareholders themselves about the problem with that. We might be diluting the shares and all that sort of thing. There was quite a lot of discussion here, but the shareholders did approve it at the end. Thank you for that. That we just needed to be careful that when the directors do trade in these shares, that they adhere to the insider trading rules, because there are certain windows within which they can trade, and that could be quite restrictive, especially when the share price is very good and then you're in a reporting period and they will not be allowed to trade. So they actually needed to give more thought to that. But we will raise it again. I think it's a good point.
So we go on to item 6. On the agenda is to re-elect the directors. In accordance with the Article 96 and 97 of the company's Articles of Association and Capital Market Authorities guidelines on corporate governance practices by public listed companies in Kenya, Mr. PNV Jacobson retires at this meeting and, being eligible, offer himself for re-election. Now, I know Per, as you all know, Per is based in Sweden. He couldn't make it last minute, but he did ask me to bring him up for re-election, and I would recommend to elect him. He has got a lot of experience in real estate, in oil industry. He used to be in KenolKobil, so we consider him as a very valuable director. So please, I seek a proposer. Name?
Forcing to be a director.
Thank you. A seconder, please. Yeah.
My name's Samuel Morage. I do second.
Thank you. I'm sure all in favor. Thank you very much. And I go on to be in accordance with Article 96 and 97 of the company's Articles of Association. Mr. James Mathenge, who I told you will be coming, and yes, he is with us here. I don't think I need much to, introduce him to you. You all know he retires at this meeting and, being eligible, offers himself for re-election. And I would urge you very much to re-elect him. You all know Mr. James Mathenge, who has, in the past was the MD of Caltex, regional managing director of Caltex, in bracket Chevron, part of the Chevron group. Most recently was the managing director for some years of Magadi. Needless to say, I need him on my board, and I would urge you please to elect him. May I have a proposal, please?
My name is Cyrus Moredi, and I propose to elect him.
Thank you, Cyrus. May I have a proposal? Seconder, sorry.
My name is Jeremiah Taro. I second.
Thank you, Taro. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you very much. The seventh item on the agenda is to note that Messrs. PricewaterhouseCoopers, having expressed their willingness, continue as auditors by virtue of Section 159(2) of the Companies Act, Cap 486, and to authorize directors to fix their remuneration. I may just say something about it, and again, I urge you please to approve it. Pricewaterhouse has been our auditors for the last many years, as far as I remember myself in this group, and I think they've done an excellent job, very dedicated, very much focused on helping the management to do their job and to, of course, account for all activities, all in line with the law and as per the IFRS rules. May I have a proposal, please?
Damari Sayodo, I propose.
Thank you, Damari. We appreciate. May I have a seconder? Please. Yeah. No, it's okay.
My name is George Warohio. I second.
Thank you, George. We appreciate. All in favor? Thank you. As we have now concluded the business of the 53rd Annual General Meeting, I declare the formal business of the meeting closed. As you know, we allow questions and we open the floor for questions. And I want to ask to, ask any question which is more related business and nothing personal, please. So, thank you.
There is an idol lad at Keno. What are you thinking about it? Why can't you put an office block? KenolKobil, the plot that you own. Why can't you put a property in KenolKobil? For KenolKobil, Keno. Or you sell that property, then you get the proceeds. The shareholders.
Which one is it?
Keno. Moranga.
Makutano segment.
Keno.
Segment Makutano.
Moranga, in Makutano, Keno.
Yeah, we put a depot.
Okay.
That property is right. Why can't you put an office block?
Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. We'll respond to that. Thank you. Maybe I will ask Mr. Wambugu to take the question.
Thanks for that question. Just to advise, I know you're from the neighborhood, but to advise the rest of the shareholders, it was advised earlier that our depot along Ruaraka was taken over by road expansion. So in this location that you're referring to, we have recently put up our equipment depot at the back there. So the area is not idle, it is actually being occupied by our equipment depot. And this is where we store a lot of our equipment for the company.
Thank you. You have a point. We have an adjacent small plot that we had rented out to Makuyu County Council. And in the recent past, it is vacant, as you say. And you also have a good proposal that we can put up an office block. That definitely would be in consideration. But with the advancement now of Makuyu being a district headquarter, Makuyu, it is also good to look at what would be most viable for that kind of an asset. Therefore, you have a point, but I think it requires a bit of watching and studying what would be best suited for Makuyu district headquarter. Thank you. Yeah, it's Malagwa. Exactly.
Yes, thank you. I would like to thank the management for the good work you have done. My question is, I have two questions. The first one, now that we have got oil into Ghana, what are we doing as an organization so that we can strategically position ourselves to reap the benefit that will come from that industry? Two, we have already invaded Somalia. And I can see a very good business coming from that country. What are we doing as a management so that immediately the situation cools in Somalia, we can go and take our big business there? Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Yes.
My question is, you had talked about having a strategic partner come over to help in raising capital for the company. So I wanted to know, I think with the discovery of oil, as this person is talking about here, I think raising capital would be, personally I think, would be very easy at this time, either from the stock market. We have seen a lot of companies coming to raise capital right now. KQ is one of them, for example. So what are you thinking about raising capital and the strategic investor that you had talked about? Kindly tell us something about that.
Let's take the questions one by one, and then if you don't mind. It's okay? Please, quickly, on the oil. First, we are all quite excited about this news, but I would caution you to wait and see whether this finding is commercial finding, or yet nothing has been proven there. We all hope that there would be a proven substantial reserve of oil. So we are all waiting to see, and I have no doubts that if at the end of the day that would be proved to be a big reserve to merit exploration, then we will benefit from it, no doubt. And I have my full confidence that we'll be party to that success. As regards to Somalia, let's wait and see. You know, we have seen Somalia for the last so many years, up and down. We all hope that things are stabilizing there. I can tell you that under export, and George will confirm it, we do some export into Somalia. It is true that once it is stable, opportunities would be there for players like us. At this stage, I wouldn't recommend to the board or to the team sitting here to go and invest and take any risk in Somalia. By the way, and not only Somalia, the one that Kenya invaded. I'm talking about, as you know, there are 3 parts in Somalia there, okay? Somaliland, the other one in the middle, and so on. So at this stage, we are holding, and don't misunderstand, we do get offers and ideas of investment in this country. We just want to wait and see. By the similar policy we adopted in respect of South Sudan. As you all know, we do a lot of export to South Sudan, but we decided not to invest directly in the country until we see that it is truly stable and there are certain conditions in place, especially on registration of assets and so on. Okay? Now, to Rebecca. Rebecca, yeah, it's a good question. Yes, it is true. We mentioned it. It's possible to obtain, some capital, not necessarily through a strategic partner, but we are of the view as management that a strategic partner would be the best for the company, and we still hold that view, and we want to believe that there would be some progress in this area. We don't want to go and just to look for capital. We think that partner with the capital brings much more than just capital. Okay? Thank you.
There has been discussion in the media that you're actually looking for a strategic partner. Is there any progress on that matter? Second question, there was the issue of your award with Kenya Power Pipeline. That matter, have you sorted it out or you have written it out? Thank you.
Okay, first question I already mentioned. You just added with the question whether we are making progress. I may say yes. Okay, that's all. On the KPC award, I think we did distribute the information. We have appealed, and we decided, as you recall, in the High Court, it was ruled to go back to the arbitrator for a review. The court there considered the award too, and I'm almost quoting what was written there, too much for the economy to take, or something like that, okay? But we are of the view that we have a strong position here legally, so we decided to, instead of going and bring it up again with the arbitrator, to actually appeal in Court of Appeal. And that's where it is now, and we are waiting for the date to be set. Yes, please. Please. Oh, yeah. It's here, believe me. Chairman and
you are holding
okay,
two
you know what?
key positions in this company.
Maganga, isn't it? Yes. Maganga, no problem. I'll answer it now. I thought, because I remember you on that side, I thought you left. Oh, so you are back. Excellent. Okay, on that one, let me just say something. Yes, it's a fact that we've been in the market looking for a chairman. I can say as well that we have made progress, and I'm willing to commit myself that that change will be before our next AGM. That change, meaning that a position of chairmanship will be handed over to someone else, not to me. Or I will not be holding the two positions by the next AGM. Is that satisfies you? Excellent. Thank you. Yes, Rakesh.
One is I just want to say, I just want to say that I have to admit that KK keeps shareholders in the loop with anybody who's got an email address. Make sure you sign up, because you always get these little notes about what's happening in Lubumbashi, what's happening in Dar es Salaam. You know, it's really great. A lot of other companies don't do it. So that's something I certainly want you to keep up. Thank you. The other thing is about Ethiopia. I mean, a lot of shareholders here might not recall, but I didn't see an update this time round. But about what's happening at a good little piece of land. Do you know, I had a friend go to Addis Ababa. I told him to go look at that piece of land just because I wanted to know more about it. So I was just this short of flying to Addis Ababa to go look at it, okay? And then just fly straight back and say, I've seen enough, let's go back. But I do want to, I understand it's a good piece of land. Would you please tell us what the progress is? Rebecca had a very interesting question, and I'm actually going to side with him, and I'll tell you why. Kenya Airways is doing a rights issue. Net asset value 42, they're selling it at 14. IFC and other shareholders are buying into the company, while the shareholders who have been there in the company at 42 are getting diluted. So what they are doing, and I am totally supportive because the same thing came up last year, is they are saying we are not going to sell our shareholders short. We are going to find somebody with money to come in and say, hey, if we think it's worth 20 shillings, you buy in at 20. Not that you come out and somebody underbuys us in the market because I cannot get a loan at 25% and buys it at 14 shillings from us when they are going to find 20 shillings value. So on that one, Rebecca, I understand your point, but I have to tell you, I'm glad they are doing the right thing, looking after existing shareholders instead of selling us out to IFC. So that's a personal, we'll have a discussion after. I'm just saying it's a personal opinion of mine. So I wanted to ask about Ethiopia and what the status there is. Thank you.
I just want to add that I think even a strategic investor involves some form of dilution. That's what I think. So, but I think either way, raising capital, if it's not borrowing, will still have some sort of dilution, but maybe not as much as it would be. I hope.
Okay, Rebecca, you'll take it up with Rakesh. I only want to say that yes, it is true that even strategic partner may dilute. The question is at what price, at what share price, and I think I share Rakesh's view that our approach is more towards the interest of the shareholders. Okay, on Ethiopia, there was a question. Yes, it's still with us, we are looking at certain ideas, mainly in the area of non-fuel. We believe Ethiopia is a great country, a difficult one, don't misunderstand, with a certain regulatory system there, which makes it difficult for the oil industry. But in the area of property development and so on, we see a great upside with that piece of land. And you can go and see it. It's very nice.